Halfway through the month of June, a friend told me about the Brewing the Revolution scavenger hunt, sponsored by the Memorial Hall Museum in Deerfield, Massachusetts. It was created as a fun way to celebrate America's 250th and teach people the important role that taverns played in the colonial days. Many plans for the revolution were made over a mug of beer. The scavenger hunt had to be completed by the end of June. There were about 60 challenges, but roughly half of them were questions that could be answered or videos and photos that could be taken from home. However, the other half required traveling to locations all over the state where historic taverns once stood or in some cases still stand. To complete these challenges required taking a selfie or a video, scanning a QR code, or confirming you were there with GPS. I didn't really expect to get into this scavenger hunt, but once I started answering some of the questions at home, I was hooked. I guess it appealed to my need to continuously learn new things. And then the yearning for adventure kicked in when I read the locational challenges.
So here we go.
Being the planner that I am, I started planning out the days that I could work on the scavenger hunt and the routes that I would take. The first one was a Sunday trip with my husband, Roger, to Easton.
300 feet. Is that it? That's it.
The destination is on your right.
Yay!
Arrive.
1717. Look at that.
Sturbridge,
as collateral. Crafts won the card game and built the pub.
Spencer, Worcester, now this is the courthouse. This is my destination. Sudbury, Weymouth, and Braintree. Okay, let's see if this works. Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere. On the 18th of April in 75, hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day and year. Breakfast and lunch were even worked into the schedule. I knew that would keep hubby interested. We stopped for breakfast at a cute little cafe in Easton. Lunch was at the historic Wayside Inn. How could we go there to take a video and not eat there?
A blueberry lemonade.
One weekday when I had to run some errands, I tackled the closer to home stops in Sandwich, Barnstable, and Wareham. On another occasion, I had to go to the North Shore to meet with one of my web design clients, so I took that opportunity to complete the challenges in Peabody, Newburyport,
Plum Island.
Reading.
We're in Reading at the old Parker Tavern. Now I have to scan this QR code.
And Wilmington. As I completed challenges and moved up the leaderboard, I was inspired to continue my quest, now determined to accomplish every last one. So the second weekend day was planned with Roger. This time we left for Boston early in the morning to avoid possible traffic from the soccer tournament and watch parties. The first stop was in Hingham. Then there were 3 locations in Boston proper, and 1 in Charlestown. From there, we headed to Arlington, Lexington, where there were 2 stops, Concord, and then back toward the South Shore with stops in Weston, and Canton. For this trip, we brought homemade zucchini muffins with us for breakfast and had lunch in Canton after our mission was completed. We were done much earlier than we had anticipated, so we even had time to stop for ice cream at Farfar's in Duxbury.
Maple walnut,
How is it?
very good.
In Lexington, I had to take a selfie from the town green with the Buckman Tavern in the background. It's now a museum which happened to be open. One of the non-location related challenges was to take a selfie holding a pewter mug, which I had not been able to find. So I went into the museum and asked if they had a pewter mug that I could borrow to take a selfie. They did, of course. We returned home from this second trip only to discover that one of my selfies in Boston had been rejected. A lot of these challenges require some additional research, and in this case, I had not looked far enough and had not located the exact spot of the marker that I was supposed to get a selfie with. Would I bother venturing into Boston again just for that? I wasn't sure. However, I still wanted to see if I could complete the scavenger hunt. So trip number 3 was planned, this time to the western part of the state. I set up a loop that started with Westfield, then to Stockbridge, Pittsfield, Williamstown,
Bread baked for Bloody Battle of Bennington. Bread baked for Bloody Battle of Bennington. Bread baked for Bloody Battle of Bennington. That's as fast as I can go.
Greenfield, Deerfield, and Goshen. We stopped for lunch/dinner at the Whately Diner on our way to Greenfield.
That breakfast burrito, it's got spinach in it and peppers and tomatoes. It's really good.
In Deerfield, we had to find 4 spots, tracked by GPS. This was worth twice as many points as most of the other challenges. The first spot in Deerfield was the Memorial Hall Museum itself, where we had to find the original license for a tavern that was once located there. Finally, I had completed every challenge, except the one that had been rejected. How could I go through all of this and not get that last one? I couldn't. So back we went to Boston early on a Sunday morning to get the correct photo of the marker where the Bunches of Grapes Tavern had once stood, with the old State House in the background. I bribed Roger to go by promising to take him to Kane's Donuts in Saugus afterward.
How's the blueberry muffin? God, it's huge.
The adventure was complete, and I was in second place, only 1 point behind the winner. It was so much fun. I gained some new perspective on how the colonists conducted business and formulated plans to separate from the king. It was well worth every minute. We plan to visit Deerfield again soon and hope to see the museum's special exhibit, Brewing, Massachusetts, How Beer Shaped the Bay State. We can dance if we want to, we can leave your friends behind, 'cause your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. I say we can go where we want to, a place where they will never find, and we can act like we come from out of this world, leave the real one far behind, and we can dance and sing. Cheers to our harmonious union. I can't take 45 of these.